Well, that was an intense car ride. I'm Sandrine and welcome to a new review for Dexter. This week's episode was called Scar Tissue. But before I get into some of my thoughts for the episode, I first want to apologize for being late with the review. If you follow me on Twitter and Facebook, you might already know that I was covering Comic-Con last week. And that was a lot of fun, but so freaking exhausting. So that Dexter review didn't happen the way I planned it. I was like, I'll be fine, I can do it. No, that did not happen. But I'm here and ready to talk about this episode, which was actually a really good one. So let's just jump right into it. First with some quick thoughts. I've got to mention Quinn again because once again there's a new storyline surrounding him that I'm not sure what the point of it is. So he did well on his sergeant, I said it right this time, his sergeant test, but I'm still not loving this whole storyline. I still don't think he should become sergeant. I think Angel should pick someone else, like Miller. I almost wish that Quinn is the one to bring down Dexter, because that would redeem so much of what that character went through and all the stupid stuff that he did throughout the seasons. It would be kind of poetic, because you would not expect him to do it at all. So yeah, that's my thought about Quinn. Next, I want to talk about Dexter's neighbor, Cassie, whom we met this episode, and she's played by One Tree Hill's Bethany Joy Lance, which tells me that she's probably going to become a bigger character this season, where she's going to have something to do in the show. I'm curious as to how they're going to integrate her into the story. Finally, Masuka gets a visit from a lady whom he thinks wants to get together with him, but turns out to be possibly his daughter. Psych and twist. That storyline came a little bit out of left field, but I still enjoyed it because I like Masuka and I thought it was a funny connection that he had with his daughter when he talked about that she has his eyes. I thought it was a funny moment. It was a nice break from all the other stuff that we've been dealing with. So hopefully we see a little more of these two and how their relationship will kind of grow. And now let's do a brain surgeon update. In this week's episode, Dexter went after a new patient of Dr. Vogel, AJ Yates. And they seem to think he's a brain surgeon, but I actually still don't think he is, even though everything points to him, because he was so surprised to hear Vogel on the phone. And he didn't recognize Dexter, at least it didn't seem like he recognized Dexter, because he even said that it seemed like Vogel had gotten herself like a hero. And we know that the brain surgeon knows about Dexter since he sent her 2 little pieces of brain to tell her, hey, I see that you got somebody, you know, to help you. So that's why I don't think Yates is the one. He's definitely not a good guy, but I don't think he's the brain surgeon. And speaking of Yates, he also had a scar on his head, and Dexter reminded us that we still don't know what Vogel's unconventional methods were. I still don't think we found out in this episode, so that's probably something that will come out later on in the season, but for now, we can only guess. Unfortunately, we don't know much more about Yates because he kind of skipped down, but we did find out through him that Vogel has been keeping some sort of very detailed diary of her interactions with Dexter, which of course pissed him off to no end. And it looks like he's ready to kind of cut her off from his life at this point, or at least he's not very happy or open to helping her that much anymore. And now on to the Dexter, Vogel, Debra triangle storyline. As Vogel promised, she's helping Deb get over who Dexter is and what she did to protect him. Unfortunately, Dexter is not too excited at the idea that she might never come around to being the sister that he's used to having anymore. And the whole discovering that Vogel is keeping a diary on him might also interfere with him letting her even treat her. But the most interesting in the episode is that we once again see how much Dexter really depends on Deb and how much he needs her in his life to feel almost good about himself or feel balanced. He's just not centered anymore. You can tell he's very antsy a little, you know, and he just wants to see her so bad, but there's nothing he can do to get her to come around to being the Deb that she used to be. And of course, to make matters worse, Deb finds a video of Harry, which leads her to understand that he really killed himself because he couldn't deal with what he created. That's kind of messed up. And I have a mixed feeling about this because it kind of messes with the idea of Harry that I had in my head over the previous seasons. I always thought that he was okay with what Dexter was and what he had become, and he was really helping him. But now we realize that the Harry in Dexter's head and the actual Harry is totally different, and I don't know if I'm very happy about that, I have to say. Deb makes a pretty drastic decision by trying to kill herself and takes Dexter with her. That was pretty crazy. I kind of saw something coming because she was all smiling and, you know, talking to Dexter and like, let's go on a ride, let's go talk. And I was like, oh, this is not gonna be good. And I thought she was gonna try to kill him, but I thought she was maybe gonna stab him in the car or something like that. I didn't think she was gonna try to kill herself along with him. So that was a surprise. But what wasn't a surprise is that she ended up going back and saving him. Because of course, she has to save Dexter, because we still have tons of episodes to go until the show is over, but it's definitely gonna change things, because I think maybe Dexter up until that point had not realized how conflicted Deb is about who he is. Yeah, I can't wait to see how he reacts to this. Although in Deb's defense, she did end up saving him, which goes back to what Vogel had told her earlier in the episode, is that what really freaks her out is that if she was put in that situation again, she really would save him again. She'll always choose Dexter, and I think we kind of saw that a little bit in this episode. So, and they ended it right, you know, when you want to know what happens next. So I can't wait to watch next week's episode. So that's all I have for you guys this week. Unfortunately, I don't have a teaser time this week. Sorry. I haven't had a chance to watch next week's episode yet because of Comic-Con, but I will have a review up on Sunday, so can't wait to talk to you guys about that. In the meantime, make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my Dexter reviews. And if you want more TV news, make sure to check out TVequals.com. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye! But before I get into that whole crazy Debra scene, I want to share a couple of quick thoughts. First, I have to talk about this whole Angel wanting Quint to become Sergeant.